Hi everyone, this is LAR Games, and today I'm playing some more Genshin Impact. Today I'm going to start the event that lets us get Collei.
Port Ormos is pretty great. There's so many new and interesting things, not to mention all the tasty food. Sumeru's largest commercial port sure lives up to its name. Look at all the merchants, and everyone seems excited just to be here.
How did things end up like this?
All thanks to your artistic license. That's how. I should have made you wait until we got an update from Tanja.
But when I finished the prototype Aranara yesterday, you agreed that the kids would like it. That's why we tried bringing it out for a test run today.
Wouldn't that be hard to make? Because, they don't know what they look like.
Well, I never thought they'd dislike it so much.
Oh, what should we do?
I just noticed that, they do have one there. Though it's not too off, to be honest.
Whoa. Yeah. Compared to everyone else, they seem really down in the dumps. Let's go find out what's going on.
Put a little audio player in it. Whenever you push its belly, it goes, Yaha!
Hey there. Paimon's name is Paimon, and he's a traveler who is just passing by. Is there something bothering you?
Oh, I noticed you two a moment ago. Welcome to Akara Crafts, the best toy store in Port Ormos. At least for now. What's bothering us is this prototype Aranara. To start with, could I get your opinion on it?
It looks decent enough, not gonna lie. Though it looks amateurly made.
Prototype Aranara? You mean this wood carving here? It looks like a mushroom monster to Paimon.
Oh, there we have it. The verdict is in. What a headache.
Not the first negative feedback we've had.
So, what exactly is a prototype Aranara?
And why is such a big, muscly guy in charge of a toy store? Well, I guess they're not really mutually exclusive things, but still, I feel like his passions lie elsewhere if he's that buff.
So for context,
And
Aranara
huge,
are
I guess,
magical
but you can't really
creatures
decide how
in
tall he
Sumeru
is.
fairy tales that live in the forest. For the store's 20th anniversary, we plan to release a series of hand-carved toys based on the Aranara stories that kids know and love. This is a prototype we made to get an idea of how they would react. But when we put it out there, the reaction was not quite what we'd anticipated.
They thought it looked like a mushroom too, huh?
No, worse than that, actually. I can't quite describe it, though. And I'm also not very good with kids. Maybe you could ask them for yourselves.
I'm not surprised, considering how big you are. You probably just scare them.
This is not an Aranara. No way. I've read Uncle Tanja's Aranara and the Ill Little Fungus. It says that Aranara are supposed to be chubby and squishy. The carving looks nothing like that.
Well, we've seen them, so we should be able to give some good feedback, I guess.
Toys do look better when they're round and chubby. Uncle Tonder said in Aranara's vow that you can deceive the eyes, but you can't deceive the heart. This carving makes me feel lost and confused inside. I don't think the creator put his heart into it at all. It's nothing like an Aranara. Ooh, didn't put his heart into it, huh? Oh, sounds like one of those things that's easier said than understood.
Cassid and Alia didn't like this carving, but I think it's okay. It doesn't look too happy, so it's kind of pitiful in a cute way.
Oh,
Someone's a contrarian.
Yeah, so I would totally ask my dad to get it for me, if it wasn't meant to be an Aranara.
Oh, well, that took a sudden turn for the worse. We asked the children for their opinions.
Yeah, Yeah, their only problem is that it doesn't look like an Aranara to them.
Oh, how did it go? Has it maybe, grown on them at all? Oh, this is such a shame. Why isn't Tondra back from Gandharvaville yet?
Oh, the kids kept mentioning an Uncle Tanger too. Who is he exactly?
Uncle Tanger is a famous children's author here in Port Ormos. He wrote quite a few stories in the past, but none of them were popular among children. Just like our prototype Aranara. But around a year or so ago, he suddenly had a eureka moment or something. And suddenly the children loved every one of his stories.
I feel he probably saw Aranara or something.
That's right. My little Ghaffari loves his stories too. The whole reason we decided to make these carvings was because we saw just how popular the Aranara are among children. We asked Tanja for guidance, but right after he agreed, he went off to Gandharvaville with his son to look for inspiration. We were running out of time, so we had no choice but to carve an Aranara based on our own imaginations. As you can see, this was the result.
Oh, we have to do something. Hey, since you're the famous traveler, could you do us a favor and look for Tanger in Gandharvaville?
Oh, so you actually know who we are.
He doesn't have to come in person if he's too busy. Just ask him to write down his suggestions and bring his notes back to us, if you could.
They didn't have much of a reaction when we said we were a traveler before, so I assumed they just believed we were a random traveler.
Please, if only to put a smile on the children's faces. And, of course, you'll be well compensated for doing us the favor.
They seem pretty desperate. Let's help them out. To see the kids smile. And also for our reward.
Yeah, let's do it for your rewards, Paimon.
Yay, rewards!
That was actually really cute. Dang, this music.
Before I retrieve your products, I need to confirm a few things.
Oh, god damn it. Shoot.
Please forgive me, but we may not have sufficient stock for you today. Earlier, many of our para fruits were taken by mice.
Oh no. Shoot. I don't remember. Oh, I should have.
Thanks. If better goods come in, you'll be the first to know. You look like you have some skill. Why don't I pick out some fruits that'll make you dizzy?
Oh no, what am I doing? Is it actually going down?
No, that's not it. The paper said that heat stroke is the answer to erudition. Eating.
I'm sorry.
He's cautious of us. Let's take a clook.
Or I could just try again, but choose the other stuff. So I can't continue this, I'm sure. Oh no, I can still do it. Okay. Yeah, alright. I could just ignore this. That's fine. I didn't actually progress it. That's good. Alright, I'm back in Gandharvaville. Really bugs me that there's... Well, actually, that was pretty close. There's no teleport point at the village. Oh, hey! Oh, no! Oh... Okay, so now that I know how to do stuff with these... Yeah.
Perhaps whoever left these behind was also fulfilling a contract.
Gandharville looking for inspiration. But how do we find him? Should we yell his name at the top of our lungs? Hey, buddy. What's your name? What are you doing here all alone? Do you live in Gandharville?
Hello?
Regardless, don't worry. As a trainee forest ranger, I'll do everything I can to help you.
Is that Collei?
Hi, Miss Forest Ranger. I'm Rosie. Don't mind me. I know the way back to Gandharville.
Where is this coming from?
When people say don't mind me, what they really mean is don't worry about me. That's all the more reason not to leave you alone. Hey, don't cry. What's wrong? Take your time. You can tell me all about it.
We walked into something awkward.
Huh, that voice sounds familiar. I once heard it somewhere before. Oh, it's Collei! And a child who seems to be upset. Oh, let's go say hi.
And it's hard to call Paimon a child when she doesn't even consider herself a child. And she probably isn't. She just looks like one.
Paimon and Traveler. I've been doing pretty well. Thanks for asking. I'm helping Master Tighnari patrol the forest. What brings you here? We're here on an errand. We heard your voice, so we thought we'd come ask you for help. You seem kinda busy, though.
I'll be fine. You go help them first, Miss Forest Ranger. I'm okay, really. The sand got into my eyes, that's all.
What a well-mannered child. Sand? There is not a lot of sand in a forest. You keep saying you're okay because you don't want us to know what you're upset about, right?
Maybe.
That's exactly why you have to get it off your chest. Here's a trick. If you're keeping a secret that bothers you, you can try telling it all to a tree hollow.
A tree hollow?
Yeah, maybe the elves inside will feel sorry for you and give you some cookies.
Yeah, a tree hollow. Do you know Tanja's stories? The Aranara living in the forest will patiently listen to every word children say. Maybe there really are Aranara living in the tree hollows that will listen to you.
You like the Aranara stories too?
Of course. I love them.
Oh, people who like Aranara are the best. Okay, I'll try telling my secrets to a tree hollow. Thanks, Miss Forest Ranger. You know everything.
We follow him and then we just hear him say, "I killed my entire family."
Aw, you're just exaggerating. Anyway, I'm trying to be like my friend, who always does her best to cheer people up when they seem sad. So, how are you doing? Feeling any better now? The forest is very dangerous, so how about we stick together?
Sure.
Wow, Collei's so good with kids. Well, helping children who are lost in the rainforest is all part of a forest ranger's duty. So, what was it you wanted help with? You're not lost too, are you?
Nope.
Okay, so you're looking for a children's author from Port Olmos called Tanja. And he's here in Gandharville, looking for inspiration. Wait, when you say Tanja, do you mean the Tanja? That's right, Uncle Tanja. So he's in the area, looking for inspiration for a new story as we speak? This is amazing. Could you wait for me for a second? I'll run Rosie back to Gandharville and then I'll be right back. I've always been curious what the man behind those incredible stories is like in person.
Solitary confinement. Well, it was mentioned he has a son, right? Or did I misremember that?
Tanja's just a normal guy.
Even so, he must be more creative than most people. Wait, hold on. Tanja before?
Mm-hmm. He's my dad.
There we go. So, okay.
Your dad? Tanja's your dad? As in you're Tanja's son?
Uh-huh.
Ah, Paimonsees! That guy at Akara Crafts told us that Tanja brought his son along with him. So he meant Razi.
Yes, I don't know why being a familiar was one of the options.
Why are you here on your own, though? Did you and Tanja get separated?
We had an argument. I was upset, so I ran off here by myself.
Oh, in that case, we should take you back to Gandaverville first. Then we'll look for your dad and tell him where you are.
No, I'm good. Thanks for your advice, Collei. I'm not so upset anymore. Come with me. I'll take you to him.
Yay! Thanks, Razi! Paimon thought we'd be spending the whole day looking for him.
Woohoo!
Oh my gosh! I can't believe I'm actually gonna meet the Tanja!
Oh.
He doesn't seem happy about... Ooh, we got her! Nice! Alright, let's see how far we can get.
So Tanja headed this way. I know this place pretty well. Follow me.
I don't have that many, items from Sumeru yet. I mean, Sumeru. But... Wait, there was one close by here, wasn't there? Could have sworn I saw it in the cutscene. But yeah, let's see. Oh yeah, I haven't used the constellations for the characters I got. Sarah. Ugh. Almost at C6. And oh my god, 2 more and I have her full too. Ooh, Collei, I got her. Okay. Well, you know what? Let's use this one. I need to use more of those in the first place. Okay, let's see. Ooh, we barely have enough there.
Does this mean I'm making progress?
Sure does. Oh, look at that. What is she? Is that her boomerang? I guess it increases in size when she throws it. I don't think I'll be able to do it this time. No. What is this? Majestic hooked beak. I need 3 of these. Man, I need to farm this a lot. Let's look at her profile.
Trainee Forest Ranger Collei reporting for duty. I will ensure your safe passage through this forest. I think I finally got that line down. I didn't get any of it wrong, did I?
Very Amber-like, unsurprisingly.
According to today's Forest Patrol route map, we need to head here first, then make our way over to there? There's a lot of writing.
Oh, what?
When I don't have much to keep me occupied, old thought patterns start to creep back in, and as soon as I start talking about it, the flashbacks start.
Oh god, that's really personal. Just talking about her PTSD. Ooh, pita pockets. Oof. Man, she's been through a lot. She just needs a hug, but unfortunately she's not able to receive any hugs, which is heartbreaking. Aww. Oh my god, she's so precious. Oh. People say she's illiterate, but I mean, clearly not. She still reads books. She's not as skilled with reading and writing as she could be. Ooh, wait, Fischl's in here? What? Hold on. Let's read this one first. Aw. Oh, no. Collei.
Well, there's plants and animals. There's ones you can eat and ones you can't. But beyond that, it's all much of a, muchness, really? Shh, don't tell Master I said that. Although, personally, I guess I quite like trees that have a hollow in it. Especially in those moments where I just want to curl up in a ball and hide away. Everyone must have moments like that, right? No?
Actually, let's hear how she says this one.
When I don't have much to keep me occupied, old thought patterns start to creep back in, and as soon as I start talking about it, the flashbacks start.
Okay. What will you say about Fischl?
Prinzessin der Vertelung? Nope. Sorry. I wasn't in Mondstadt for very long, so I didn't hear of her. That name, though. Ugh. Nothing.
Oi. Collei, I love you already, but come on. Don't insult my Fischl. Yeah, we just got to know her here. I'm sure more will show up after a while, because, I mean, it says more about Collei 1, so obviously she's going to open up eventually. I mean, that's pretty clear. Oh, never mind. What do wolf hooks taste like? They just look like regular berries. That's adorable. Alright. There's a lot to unlock with her. Alright, let's continue with the story. Actually, first, let's look for a thing to activate this. Where could it be? Hmm?
Propagate!
Born of ice and frost.
No more tricks up your sleeve.
Don't need any.
You won this one.
That really does look like death. That moss texture looks so nice. Oh, hello. That's the one I was trying to get last time. That's an unexpected start to a quest. Alright, hold on, person who's getting hurt. Oh. That's not a person.
Shadows of access denied.
Alright, I'll just talk to you, but that's it. Alright, good. It just feels so right to explore with the Traveler.
No touching.
Wait, did I? Ah, god damn it. Okay, let's head to Gandharvaville. Oh wait, no, I wanted to do this first. I need to find the... Ah, here it is. Okay. Now, where does that go? Or did I do that already by accident? You know what? I vaguely remember a chest activating. Maybe that was the reason. Maybe I already did that one. On the bright side, I was able to get Collei, so even if I don't manage to finish this quest in time, my objective of getting her is complete, and I didn't have to roll for her, which I'm super happy about. Up there? Oh, I've never activated this one before. Might as well. Wonder if I'll be able to finish this event in one go. Hope it's not too long. Wait. Okay, it's over this way. Are you? What are you? Oh. Okay. Interesting. What is this? Huh. Oh, this is so cool. Aww. It is a good thing too, because I should probably start weaning myself off Noelle. Oh hey.
Next on the agenda. Beautiful treasures are a cause for great happiness.
I feel my inventory is gonna fill up again soon. Oh wait, no, cancel.
Rosie! Where are you, Rosie?
Someone's calling for Rosie over there.
Oh, I haven't seen one of those in a while. But no loot. Ah.
Oh, Rosie! Thank goodness I finally found you. What would I do without you, my son?
He is a lot more normal than I thought, and I thought he was gonna be pretty normal.
Were you in danger? Did the wild beasts scare you? Did the stars guide your way?
I'm okay. All thanks to their help.
Thank you. Thank you all. I dare say that even the most cold-hearted Spino crocodile would be moved to tears by your kindness.
Very flowery, his speech is.
Oh, it's nothing. It's all part of my responsibility as a trainee forest ranger. I'm the one who should thank you for creating so many wonderful stories for the children of Sumeru. I love them too.
Really? I didn't know anyone read my stories apart from young children. That must mean you're still in touch with your inner child.
Or maybe she just wants to forget her traumas.
Okay, then. I have the inspiration for my next story. It shall be about an Aranara granny who's a child at heart.
She isn't that old.
It's an honor to become the source of your inspiration. Whoa, Collei looks like she's about to pass out. Hey Collei, are you okay? I'm okay. Sorry, I just got a little too excited.
Are you two story lovers as well? Yes. The moment I saw you, the image of an aura giant and an aura finch traveling together popped into my mind.
Yep.
Ah, excellent! Improvisation! Yes, mount your trusty steed of imagination and canter through the lush meadows of lyrical expression. You have the potential to become a celebrated storyteller too, you know.
The only trusty steed I want is when they add an actual mount system.
Seems like Tanja has a slightly exaggerated view of what it means to be a children's author. Also, Paimon's not a finch. That's nothing to get excited about.
Heh.
Akara Crafts. Akara Crafts. Oh! Oh, right. I remember now. That small boat once sailed into the sea of my memory, but before long it floated away over the horizon, never to be seen again.
He's like official, but not fun.
Perhaps for the best. After all, a wild tempest was raging in Tangier Harbor.
Also, he has no translator, like Oz.
What? Paimon has no idea what he's saying.
Like I said, he doesn't have an Oz.
What should we do? Do you think we should get Tainari to take a look at him?
Dad's saying he forgot about helping the people at Akara Crafts learn more about Aranara because right now he has something more important to do.
Oh, there's the Oz.
Oh, that's what he meant. Well, there it is. All the proof you needed that this kid is definitely Tanger's son. Wait, no, this isn't the time for all that. Tanger, your help is pretty vital to the toy makers. You gotta do something.
I'm actually surprised they didn't bring up the official comparison. I feel it's pretty apt.
But the garden that blooms before my eyes is of greater importance. For therein lies the beautiful Patisara that all the children of Sumeru dream of. I, Tanger, have found evidence of Aranara activity right here in the Avidia Forest, conclusively proving that Aranara not only exists in stories, but in real life too.
Avidia.
If I manage to document the first real-life Aranara sighting, the petty problems that perplex Akara Crafts will be untangled in no time. Meanwhile, I may well be able to leverage this to assume leadership of the academia. Then all across Sumeru will know of the great Tanger living in humble Port Ormos.
I haven't written any papers myself, but I think you need to have a bunch of them approved by the review board before entering the academia. You also need a detailed and objective experiment record. Anyway, Tanja, what did you mean by evidence of Aranara activity?
The hook's what's important in a story. The great storyteller Tanger never gives his audience the bait right away. Come with me.
Wait, not that way.
Collei, what's wrong?
Nothing. But that way leads us deeper into the Avidia Forest. I'm just concerned for Tanja's safety.
Yeah, let's not go to the Avidia Forest. It's a little too much right now. Instead, let's go to the AMB Forest. It's a little cheaper, though it doesn't have ray tracing.
And I think I'm starting to understand why Razi and Tanja were fighting.
Wait, where is he?
Just as I expected, the promise of one of my stories has kept you hot on my heels.
But this is just an ordinary tree hollow. Paimon's not seeing any evidence of Aranara.
You can deceive the eyes, but you can't deceive the heart. Look with your heart and you too will understand.
Paimon's not sure what look with your heart means. But anyway, let's start by investigating the area around this tree hollow.
Well, you see Paimon. It's actually the last element. It's the secret element. The power of heart. It's also the most useless. Oh.
Hey, look! There's a note here. Could this be the evidence that Tanger was talking about? The handwriting's so hard to read. It's too hard. I can't remember the names of all these mushrooms. Do Aranara need to learn about mushroom classification?
You know what's really sad? Paimon is way more literate than Collei.
Here's another note that says, "This tree hollow is my castle."
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Is this Collei's tree hollow? Is this where she spends her time? Oh no.
That sounds more like something an Aranara from the stories would say.
Oh no. Collei, no.
There's another one here. If only I were a clever Aranara. A clever Aranara. Is the emphasis on clever or Aranara?
I'm pretty sure it's on Aranara. She might wish to be something else. I don't know. Oh no, this is Collei's tree stump, isn't it? It would explain why she didn't want anyone coming here. Oh no. Oh no, I feel bad.
How does it feel to bear witness to a groundbreaking discovery? Exciting, isn't it?
I hope this is the case.
The crude handwriting may look like a child's, but don't forget, we're in the middle of a rainforest.
Yeah, but you have to understand, some people aren't very literate. Oh no, oh god.
I doubt that a child would be able to reach this deep into the forest, and I doubt even more that they would think of this lowly tree hollow as some sort of impenetrable castle.
My heart. Oh god. I hope I'm wrong.
I boldly hypothesize that this tree hollow is in fact the Aranara's academia. The notes we saw were written by the Aranara themselves. There is no doubt in my mind about that.
We'll see what Collei says.
An Aranara that wasn't so bright left a note here wishing to become a clever
Oh
Aranara.
no! Oh my god! Oh no! Oh god! Oh my god! She just collapsed! Oh no! That was direct damage, wasn't it? Oh god. Again, I wish I could hug her so bad, but she... Oh god, she's so tragic.
I shall craft a new story for them and call it The Aranara in the Tree Hollow. How's that? Don't the very words just conjure up images of Aranara in your mind's eye?
Nope.
Well, many an adventurer knows how to take to the skies with their easily visible wind gliders, yet they do not possess the invisible wings of imagination, making it hard for them to keep up with my train of thought. How about you, Miss Forest Ranger? Do you soar into the atmosphere on the wings of imagination?
I feel right now she's just plunging into the depths of embarrassment.
Huh? Me? I don't know. Maybe I do, but...
Oh no.
Anyway, it has nothing to do with me, so...
I feel so bad.
Yeah, I'm fine. It's just that witnessing Tanja's creative process is a little...
Overwhelming.
It's definitely a word.
Oh, yes. Yes. Overwhelming.
For now, I've decided to stay here with Razi until we witness the legendary moment when the Aranara appear in this hollow. Don't worry, I won't let the Akara Crafts toymakers down. When a real Aranara appears, their little troubles will be resolved in an instant.
Well, I guess we have to call an Aranara here.
He seems pretty stubborn. Looks like we'll have to stay here and wait a little longer.
No, I think we should return to our camp first. Tanja, in Aranara and the Three Little Fungus, it says that Aranara are very sensitive creatures. I don't think they'll show up if we stay here.
Oh? Was that in the story? Ah, yes, I remember now. Miss Forest Ranger, you sure know your stuff. In that case, let's go back to camp and call it a day. We'll continue our search for evidence first thing in the morning.
This is painful. Oh, there's the... I could have sworn I saw a flower around here. Huh. I saw one in the distance. Where was it? Was it this one? Oh no, it was this one. Alright, okay, let's guess it was here. This is a horrible encampment. Wait, what time? 0 to 4. What are those spikes over there?
A strong...
Traveler, wake up! It's not the Aranara, it's Collei. She's gone!
Yeah.
Oh, Paimon's been worried about Collei since last night. Even though she kept telling us she was okay after we saw the evidence of Aranara activity, she's been acting kind of strange.
Well, I already put everything together, so...
Anyway, let's go find her. Hey, look! Aren't these Collei's footprints? But why are they headed towards the tree hollow?
You know, reading and listening to her voice lines probably gave me the biggest clue to this before, you know, it was a thing that I saw.
So Collei came back here alone. Is she waiting for the Aranara to show up?
And I thought this was a place nobody knew about. I never thought Tanja would find it, or that I would run into the Traveler and Paimon.
Yeah. Oh. She's probably the character I wish I could hug the most, but also a character that would be the most impossible to hug. At least for now.
If I'd known, I would have just told the tree hollow instead of writing it down. There must be another way to practice my handwriting.
No, oh, my heart. Oh, God.
Now I've created a whole new problem for myself. What do I do now? Dress up as an Aranara?
Good that she's saying all these things out loud.
Oh, no, that won't work. I should be writing something that an Aranara would never say, so that Tanja won't mistake me for one of them. But what should I write? What should I write? Oh, I've got it. There's no way Tanja could see this as the work of an Aranara.
I bet whatever she writes will convince him even more.
So the evidence of Aranara activity we saw during the day was actually evidence of Collei's activity. But why didn't she just tell Tanja?
Because it's embarrassing.
Oh, right. Collei told Razi that he could tell any secret to a tree hollow. Must be because that's what she does. And now she even writes it down.
When she said that, I imagined a different kind of tree hollow. But yeah, I was thinking of a hollowed out tree, you know, not a felled tree hollow.
Yeah, you're right. We'll keep her secret for her. Oh, looks like she's almost done writing. Let's head back.
Oh,
Aha! There's a new note just as I expected. Yes, yes! It's the same handwriting, which means it must have been written by the same Aranara. Let's see what it says.
Ooh, what could it be?
I want to visit Mondstadt during the Ludi Harpastum again?
yeah, he's still gonna think it's an Aranara.
No, that's impossible. This must be some kind of mistake. How could an Aranara go to Mondstadt for the Ludi Harpastum? Even I would never write that into a fairy tale.
Let's see the punchline. Also, I really want to see Ludi Harpastum. Also, Barbara still hasn't noticed that the lyre is fake, even though it's been like 2 years since that. Unless Ludi Harpastum is like only every couple of years or something and not yearly.
So, in other words, the notes can't have been left by an Aranara.
Yeah. If you ask me, they were probably left by a passing merchant from Mondstadt or something. Definitely not an Aranara.
Oh no, Collei, please don't say that. He's gonna comment on the terrible handwriting that looks like a child wrote it.
No, no, I refuse to believe it. I can't.
Because you don't know what an Aranara looks like.
What do you mean you can't? It's not like it'll take you a huge amount of effort.
You've written so many stories beloved by the children. I'm sure you can help create carvings that are just as successful.
No! I can't do it. I thought that if I could find an Aranara, I'd be able to help Akara Crafts. But it was someone from Mondstadt all along.
Huh?
But you've managed to write all those stories without ever having seen a real Aranara, right? What makes this so different?
Maybe it has something to do with his kid. He's the one that saw the Aranara and describes it to him, maybe? I don't know.
Rosie, you tell them.
Or is the kid the real author?
Really? Can I?
Yes, it's fine. Tell them. I know this is the moment you've been waiting for.
Okay. Collei, Traveler, Paimon, do you remember when I said that there was a secret I didn't want to tell anyone? I didn't want to tell anyone the secret, but it made me feel very sad and also turned Dad into a completely different person. So, I think I should tell you. Dad isn't the one who came up with all those Aranara stories.
What? Hold on. So if Uncle Tanja wasn't the author, then who was it? Wait. You don't mean...
I assume so.
It was me.
Yep.
Dad's been telling stories in Port Ormos for as long as I can remember. I always got to listen to all his new stories. Every night, Dad would give me a Zaytune peach for dinner, and I'd eat it while he told his stories. The Zaytune peaches were delicious, but Dad's stories were really bad. He always uses sentences that are really hard to understand, and strange, metaphors, I think they're called. But Dad kept on going, telling his stories again and again. Oh, one time, he even borrowed a camera from Lord Sangemabe's shop and got me to take pictures of him in action. Dad showed me the picture and said that it shall become the precious record of Sumero's best storyteller early in his career. Even though I only had Zaytune peaches to eat and not so great stories to listen to, I was happy. Then one day, I tried telling Dad a story I came up with. Dad seemed really excited from the very beginning. He looked really happy. He lifted me up high into the air and told me to continue. He lifted me up so high that I was looking down at him. As I continued with my story, I saw his expression gradually change. And when I got to my favorite part, Dad started crying. I guess he must have been moved by my story. When Dad put me back down, I looked up at him again, but now he had a scary look in his eyes.
You remember it so vividly.
And describe it so well.
It's not only Razi. I, too, remember every detail of what happened that day. After that, I gradually grew in fame and started making money. I became Sumeru's best storyteller, just as I always dreamed. Finally, we could afford more than just Zaytun peaches for dinner. I thought it would make Razi happy.
I was really happy at first, but then everyone started calling me Tanja's son instead of Razi. I kinda guessed why, but I also didn't want to believe it. Dad got busier with things that had nothing to do with storytelling, like that request from Akara Crafts. So I made up my mind that this time, I just want to be good old Razi so that Dad will become good old Dad again. Instead of Dad the way he is now, starting every story with, "Dedicated to my dearest Razi." I prefer my dad how he used to be, stumbling over words and not knowing how to end the story. That's why I decided to keep how I imagine Aranara to look like a secret.
Wait, Paimon gets it now. To sum up, all of Uncle Tandra's fairy tales were actually stories written by Razi. And because Razi didn't want Tandra to keep living a lie, he refused to help him with the Kara Crafts commission.
Yes. That's why I tried looking for possible evidence of Aranara. But it turned out that I was just being a clown, as always. And not even a funny one. I'm a terrible father. I'm sorry, Razi. I'm so sorry. And I owe you all an apology, too, for wasting your time. Razi's the only one who can help Akara Crafts. If you can manage to persuade him, that is. Right now, I think I just want to find a tree hollow and be quiet for a while.
Well, you're not the only one. One thing I do want to mention is that, man, when it comes to the voice acting direction, they really should do more directing when it comes to the pronunciation of things. Now, I'm not arguing at all about how I think things should be pronounced. I don't really care. However they decide to have a word be pronounced, that's how you should pronounce it because that's how it is translated. Basically, that's canon. But my problem here is that there isn't really much of a canon when it comes to certain things. Like, for example, take this character here. He called himself Tanger, or Tanger, one of the two, I forgot. But some characters, including his own son, pronounces it Tanja. So Collei and Razi call him Tanja instead of Tanger. So I'm not really sure. You could just chalk it up to like the kid not being able to pronounce his dad's name because he's so young. My own nephew used to call me, was it my nephew or was it my little sister? I forget. But yeah, I used to be Luis instead of Luis because they couldn't say it right. Sometimes they don't even say your name. Like, for example, my younger brother, well, he still calls me that. He calls me then because he's just used to it. But that's the name he came up with because he couldn't pronounce my actual name when he was really young. So I guess you could maybe attribute it to that, and then Collei just says that because she just doesn't really know how to pronounce his name, maybe. I'm just trying to find excuses for why the pronunciations of certain things would be varied. I mean, it's not like people pronounce other people's names perfectly in the first place. Like, some people call me Luis, if they can pronounce it. Some people call me Louis. And then some people call me Louise, which I actually don't like. I prefer people call me Louis than Louise for some reason. Just pronounce it your own way than trying to pronounce it, I guess, and then going somewhere completely different. I don't know. Either way, I just wanted to point that out.
Are we gonna let this happen?
You want me to help Akara Crafts with their carving? Well, I did mention what the Aranara look like in my stories, but to make a carving, we might need more details.
I have connections, you know. We can just look at one.
Collei, Traveler, and Paimon, I might need your help on this one. I've never really left Port Ormos before. This is my first time in Gandharvaville. Well, it's my first time being so far from home. Sumeru is so much bigger than I thought. Seeing new places has given me loads of new ideas for my Aranara stories. So I want to visit more places in Sumeru. That way, I can help Akara Crafts create an Aranara carving that everyone will love. And I also want to take pictures of Dad everywhere that we travel to.
You still want me to come with you? Even after all I've done?
Yeah, of course. Come on, you're the best dad ever.
I really like this shot, but it's pretty coincidental.
This is the happiest Arazi has sounded since we met him.
I want to thank you, Collei.
Huh? Me? I didn't do anything to help.
You told me about telling my secrets to a tree hollow. Even though I didn't have the time to find a tree hollow, telling everyone my secret made me feel so much better.
Yeah, no time for that, except for that big one in the background.
Yeah.
The one that we're right in front of.
It's hard to keep too many secrets. And there's no need to hide our mistakes from others all the time. I made a lot of mistakes back in Mondstadt. But when I look back on them, it all feels more like a new beginning. I'm sure this experience will be the same for Tanja.
Yes. I'll do my best to become a good father again. Wait. Did you just say you've been to Mondstadt?
And did you say that you put your secrets in a tree stump?
I just passed by once. Never mind that. Come on now. Akara Crafts is waiting for us.
Out of curiosity, are you illiterate?
Let's go, Razi. Grab that camera and see what hidden inspiration you can discover along the way.
Okay, let's go. Come on, Dad.
Razi, slow down and watch your step.
So I guess it's going to be a picture-taking event? Yes, it is. That's weird. No, this is bigger than I thought. Oh no. Why do you have to, like, you know that we're gonna be, oh god, sometimes the way Genshin quests are done really bothers me.
Divination is about precisely foretelling one's.
This quest, this event is a lot more involved than I thought. Okay, animals. What are these? Okay. Wow, this is complex. This is gonna be easy for me. I just go to the village. Ooh. Oh, I've been there. Well, I haven't been there, but I've been close to there. Guess we'll go there at some point. Now, what's the last thing? Oh. Alright, well, guess this event... Well, there's more to it, clearly. Wow, okay, there's a lot more to it. Wow, okay, I'm gonna do all of these types off camera since they're not actual story things. Yeah, it's just this kind of stuff, so there's no real reason to record that, to be honest. I do have to conserve my recording time when I can. What is this? What is this? Are they challenges? Oh, okay, yeah. Oh man, there's a lot of stuff to do in this event. Well, whatever happens, at least I have Collei. Alright. With that, I'm going to end the part here. I hope you enjoyed my playthrough of this game so far. This event specifically. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.